Good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. How you doing today? I'm going to be back in my setup soon, but I'm out here grinding it out. I got some goals I need to reach, and I'm determined to reach them within the next 90 days. If I don't, I'm going to be in a lot of heat. So excuse me, because sometimes I'm going to be presenting my commentary in this fashion. Instead of being in my little studio setup. Anyway, let's get into this. It says, I think this is Los Angeles time. New evidence against Trump is likely to emerge during the Senate impeachment trial. So in Nancy Pelosi, in her efforts to try to control everything, in her narcissistic effort to control the Senate impeachment, which she has no entitlement to do, she is way out of her lane and she's abusing her power as House Speaker. She got this little investigative team, or this management team, to so-called manage the Senate debate, the Senate trial. Who in the world is she to manage the Senate trial? Now, I'm going to talk about that later on the show. And it's the same people that push to get impeached. So there's so much conflict of interest in this process. Number one, Jerry hates Trump. Adam hates Trump. Pelosi hates Trump. Now, they can sugarcoat it and she can get upset and get offended. The nerves, are you asking me if I hate Trump? Oh, no. Let's tell the truth. You hate the dude. You hate him for the simple fact that he ran. You hate him for the simple fact that he ran his mouth on your Obama. You hate him for the simple fact that he got the nerves to run for office against Hillary Clinton, not knowing that Hillary Clinton and her husband set that up to make them look good. You know, they thought it was going to be a squash match. You know what a squash match is? All right, when you go watch wrestling, it's this big dude who's been doing this for a while, and here's this new guy in the ring. They call him jobbers. And he get in the ring and beat him in like 5 seconds flat. Yeah, she thought she was going to do that to Trump, and it just didn't happen. She got the surprise roll-up. The biggest, devastating, most powerful move in wrestling is the surprise roll-up. So that's what happened. So now with this, it's already been proven that Russia didn't do none of this stuff. Russia didn't cost the election. Vladimir Putin didn't cost the election. It's been proven that. They still spitting this stuff out of their mouth. Nancy Pelosi spit it out of her mouth today. And now you got her trying to control the Senate process. That is, I don't like this dude, but that is his process. Look, let me tell you something. You already know about me. I'm about right. I'm about wrong. I'm about truth. I'm not for the foolishness. It don't matter whether I like you, hate you, love you. I'm going to stay on the side of right. I'm going to stay on the side of right. It is not right for Nancy Pelosi to try to control the Senate trial. I know you guys don't like Trump. I know you want to get him out of office. But she is trying to manipulate this process to get her way. She wants Trump removed, and she's going to manipulate it and milk it as much as she can. She needs to be investigated. She needs to be in trial because she's abusing her power and getting into areas that she have no reason to get into. Once you handle impeachment articles, that is up to Mitch McConnell and the Senate to do that. That's up to Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, all of them to determine that. Jerry Nadler, and Adam Schiff, them numbnuts need to get out of this mess. They need to be out of this mess. Fair is fair. I don't like Trump. I don't like none of them, to tell you the truth. All of them are doing horrible on their job. But it said new evidence against Trump is likely to emerge during Senate impeachment trial, Schiff said. Well, if it's coming out of Schiff's mouth, then, and I know this man is full of Schiff, I'm not believing it. But they put this in the headline to make it look like they got new evidence on the trial. They say it's likely to emerge. It's likely to emerge because you guys are going to be managing this thing and you're going to try to come up with something. Now, the nerves of them. getting a little upset, getting a little deteriorated, however you want to say that, because they figured that their witnesses may not be able to come in the Senate trial. Who are you to do that when you didn't allow Trump and his witnesses to pop up in the Senate, the House impeachment hearings? They wanted to get Hunter Biden on the stand as a witness. You wouldn't allow it. There's so many things that they tried to bring forth, you would not allow it. But you want to call in certain witnesses, and those certain witnesses use their Fifth Amendment right, and you try to say Trump told them to do that. How do you know? I have the right to call the Fifth. Throw me in jail. I'm not participating in your games. So because Trump witnesses, the ones that they wanted to call that was on Team Trump, didn't come, so they think Trump trying to manipulate them and Trump is trying to control them. You have no proof of that. You're just assuming that. But yet, when it's time for him to call some people, you're going to be trying to fight that in the Senate trial. You want to control that. You want to control the House impeachment hearing. You want to control the Senate impeachment hearing. You can't have it both ways. You got to make up your mind. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's say Speaker of the House, that's it, of the House, not the Senate, of the House, Nancy Pelosi announced the impeachment managers. The impeachment managers for the U.S. President Donald Trump trial in the Senate on the Capitol hearing. Who are you to try to manage that process? I mean, people tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything, but have we ever had impeachment managers come from the House to try to manage the impeachment hearings in the Senate? Really? You talking about manipulation and control. You talking about authoritative. This is neo-Nazi stuff. Yeah, I said it, neo-Nazi stuff. She got these guys to manage a Senate trial, and they not even in the Senate. Ain't that something? House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff will lead the prosecution of President Trump at his impeachment trial in the Senate. How is he able to lead the prosecution of President Donald Trump in his impeachment trial in the Senate? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced January 15, 2020, Schiff and Democratic lawmakers from California would be the House lead manager at the Trump Senate trial expected to begin on Tuesday, Pelosi said. Schiff led the House investigation that resulted in Trump's December 18th impeachment for abuse of power and obstructed Congress. Now, still, I want to see where did he abuse his power. Now, he's abused his power, don't get me wrong, but they're trying to say he abused his power trying to get information on possible crimes confessed by Joe Biden. They tried to dig up this dirt on Trump and tried to criminally indict this guy in a way, try to get him out of office. And when they lost that with Robert Mueller, Trump said, I need to find out where they come up with this mess. I mean, obviously, it has been proven that we had a lot of foul stuff going on trying to keep Trump out of office. And Trump basically said, I need to find out, I need to get to the bottom of this because this is un-American, and it is true. It is true. It is true. So what do you do about that? Do you just let it slide as president? And when you got the FBI and you got the Justice Department on your side, do you just let it slide? No, you investigate. Obviously, somebody committed some crime to try to get dirt and rig and try to plant and try to get me in trouble. And I don't have a right to find out who did that. I don't have a right to try to find out about this server that I was told that was in Ukraine. I don't have a right to find out about the crimes of anybody that was involved in this. So they want to use this as well, he's a political opponent. That doesn't have anything to do with anything at all. It's just a coincidence. You got on TV, you ran your mouth about how you abuse your power as vice president, along with the blessings of Barack Obama, to manipulate the Ukraine government into firing a prosecutor who is possibly looking at the crimes of an organization that your son worked for. Not only just your son, but Nancy Pelosi's son worked for. So the bottom line is, they doing this because Trump got the nerves to try to investigate us and our kids for being involved with corruption. Hey, don't get me wrong. Same thing should happen to Trump and his kids. Well, let me get into this some more. Adam Schiff will lead the prosecution. Nancy Pelosi announced January that Schiff, a Democratic lawmaker from California, will be the lead manager, whatever the crap that is. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam B. Schiff expects new evidence to come out during the course of Senate impeachment trial, adding a possible element of surprise to the proceeding and potentially complicating Republicans' effort to reach a speedy conclusion. How come you didn't have this stuff before, Shifty Schiff? How come you didn't have this before, Mr. Fuller Schiff? What they are trying to do is they're trying to find some way, somehow, to muscle these Republicans to get Trump out of office. In other words, they want to manipulate the whole process. I wouldn't doubt if they didn't try to blackmail these senators to get them to vote Trump out. Like I said, I want Trump out, but I want him out by the ballot box. I won't want him out by the manipulation and the conniving and scheming of our federal government leaders. We should not allow this. I know you don't like Trump, but you don't get him out by hook or crook. You don't do that. You don't do that. That would make you no different from the rogue cop who's trying to get arrests and get his arrest record and get his quotas up by hook or crook. You're no different. Find the right charges and prosecute them on. And this charge is weak and lame, and this destruction of Congress. Why? Because Trump decided that, no, if y'all gonna have subpoena, I'm not just gonna come in here and just walk on in. Subpoena me in. Now, I don't know. I don't keep up with everything, but did they subpoena Trump to come to the trial? Or did they ask him to come to the trial? So you can't say I struck Congress and you didn't subpoena me to come. I ain't got to come. That is not, if I have a right to not come, that is not obstruction. Anyway, I'm sick and tired of these people, man. There's going to be new evidence coming out all the time. And if this is conducted like a fair trial, as if your trial was fair, then that new evidence should be admitted. If it's irrelevant, if it's probative, if it sheds light on the guilt or innocence of President Trump, then it should be admitted, says Schiff, who was appointed Wednesday the lead House manager trying to control the freaking Senate impeachment hearing, prosecuting the case against President Donald Trump. A reporter asked a question U.S. Speaker House Nancy Pelosi, flanked by impeachment managers at the press conference on Capitol Hill, January 15, 2020, in Washington, D.C. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff will lead the prosecution of President Donald Trump at his impeachment trial in the Senate. He will lead the prosecution of President Donald Trump. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced January 15, 2020, Schiff, a Democratic lawmaker from California, would be the House lead manager. Yeah, but this guy don't like Trump. He hates Trump. It's a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest. He's like, look, I'm a racist cop, and I'm trying to get O.J. Simpson for the simple fact I don't like black men with white women in the first place. And you got a racist cop on the case. You think he's going to be fair? It's a conflict of interest. Once you find out he's a racist, you get him off the case. Anyway, I'm done. I'm not reading all this crap. I'm not reading. You go read it. Man, let me tell you something. The Democratic Party has become worse at being thieves, crooks, and connivers than a Republican. Don't get me wrong. I don't give the Republicans no slack either. That's why I don't understand why people still playing team with these numbnuts. These numbnuts don't give a crap about you, man. All they care about is their careers and staying in office as long as they can, continuing to get hustling money from donors and try to make a name for themselves so they can sit on the board like Hunter Biden and get paid millions. It happens. Right now, John Boehner sits on. John Boehner was anti-marijuana during this whole time in the Senate. In the House. But now he's one of the biggest advocates of marijuana because he sits on the board of a marijuana company. Same thing with, what's his name? Eric Cantor. All these fools, when they get out of office, they go sit on the board, collect a few $1 million checks. They only have to show up one or two meetings a quarter. That's it. Bada boom, bada bang. Hang out. Later on that night, we get some drinks, probably get some prostitutes, whore it up, and then you can go back home to your wives. These are the people we put in these career-long positions to do the bidding for us, and what they do, they get in those positions, do the bidding for themselves, get bougied up with the elite, try to make friends with these corporations, hoping they can sit on board of those few corporations that's going to pay them $2 million a year. And if you got 3 boards that you sit on or 5 boards that you sit on and you get paid $2 million a year, that's $10 million a year coming in, man, $10 million a year after you out of office. And then you still going to get unlimited health care, Cadillac health care too. Still could be able to get education on your kids, and you still going to get a check from the Senate. This is a money game to these people, and they don't care about truth and integrity. All Nancy Pelosi is trying to do is she want to use this to really whip not just Trump, but anybody that has the nerves to go in and check into the people who we do nepotism and favoritism to. The nerves. No, I got a right to give my child a job. Trump gave his child a job. But if there's some criminality involved and it could lead to them, they're going to let you know. We know we do wrong. We know we criminals, but we ain't going to, if you even think about trying to hit us, we're going to hit you back harder. You're going to wish you never even thought about us and our crookedness ever. Yeah, we crooks, but who are you to expose us for who we are? That's our job. Our job is to expose you. So I'm done with this, man. I can't stand Nancy Pelosi. And these Democrats, like, especially these new Democrats that's got in office, they just figured they had to get Nancy Pelosi. Trump said he was going to even throw some votes her way. She is not your friend. She has more friends. She is not she ain't no friend. Trump was going to throw some votes her way just to make sure that she can become Speaker of the House. Why? Because he need her on his team so they can continue to do corruption. And she can do whatever she can to prolong the corruption process by not fighting against her, fighting against him if he do wrong. Look, people, this is bad. This is the Democrats showing themselves blatant manipulators, controllers, possessors over the political process. The nerves of you to try to look into the crimes of me and my children. I'm going to make sure you never do that again. That's all this impeachment trial is. There's a bunch of things you could impeach me on, but the articles we got here of trying to dig up his opponent on Joe Biden, that is, number one, that's not a crime. Number two, even if it's in a foreign country and the dirt is in the foreign country, where's the crime in that? Really, where's the crime of that? But the bottom line is, If you use your power as a top government official to manipulate a government by dangling money in their face and saying you're not going to get the money until that prosecutor is fired. What prosecutor? Prosecutor that's actually looking into the criminal issues of a company that my son happened to sit on the board, whom I kind of got him a job because he was a snort coding, still is a snort coding, coke snorting philanderer or whore. Let me say a better word, whoremonger, slut. He's a coke smoking slut, and I just got to make sure you have a job. So the nerves of Trump to look into that, why he got that job, and why Biden held the abuse of power over another country. He have a right to that. That's why I want them to bring him into the trial. And here's the bottom line. Nancy Pelosi putting these people to manage the Senate hearing, hope to try to shame anybody who try to bring in Hunter Biden, or try to bring in her son who sits on the same board, or anybody who have committed wrongdoing in the Democratic Party. They're there to shut that down. They don't want you to hear about it. They don't want you to know about it. They don't want it to be on trial. They don't want to be exposed. Bad enough we had WikiLeaks in 2016. If Trump exposed all of us of our criminal mess, it's going to hurt us in the election. Well, he have every right to. Just like you're trying to put him on a criminal level to hurt his election. Anyway, I'm done, guys. This is just pathetic, man. This is another reason why I can't stand parties. This is another reason why I will never. And I got my people. They love Nancy Pelosi. Loving her for. What's she done for you? Her district in California is all screwed up. She don't care. She done made over $150 million while she's in office. When she's done, if she still got 10 more years, 20 more years of life in her, she's going to sit on about 4 or 5 boards too. If we can finally get her out of office. She's not going to worry about re-electing. She done left a legacy of crookedness as a political leader. So she's going to go sit on about 4 or 5 boards that's going to pay her $2 million a year. So she's going to be pretty, sitting pretty, but what about you? All this stuff right here, how is it affecting you? Management from the House to manage the Senate hearing. Did you have any, did we have a management from the Senate? Making sure that the House do their part, do right? This is ridiculous. The bottom line is, if anybody commit crime, high crimes and misdemeanor in public office, like Joe Biden confessed he did, then the president, the DOJ, and FBI have a right to look into that. It don't matter who he is. I don't care if it's your daddy. You need to be investigated. And anybody else in office need to be investigated. Republican, Democrat, I don't give a crap. Need to be investigated. This is stupid. This is foolishness. This is a ability to try to control the Senate hearing because they know this thing ain't gonna go no further than the Senate. It's gonna get dropped, and they want to make sure it can prolong. They're gonna do whatever they can to keep these political leaders off the campaign trail, so mainly 2 people can be out there doing their thing: Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden. Bernie's gonna be tied up. He ain't gonna be able on the campaign trail. Elizabeth not gonna be on the campaign trail. You name it. Klobuchar, all of them gonna be at the impeachment hearing, and all I'm gonna use that impeachment hearing to try to make their political run look stellar. Bottom line is, this is foolishness. This is a sham. And honestly speaking, I hope this trial don't take no more than 1 or 2 days, if it could, at least 2 weeks. Get it over with. If you want this man out of office, there's 2 things you got to do. Get out the vote. Make sure it's somebody that's offering to really serve people. And go to paper ballots. Other than that, do something outside of that, Trump wins again. And he's going to be here 4 more years. Then what you going to say? I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I'll let you later. Peace.